Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network, also featured on The Roar on 99.1, 93.5, and 94.7 HD2. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Holy hell.
Yeah.
Holy
We
hell.
got off the show yesterday, all right? Everybody remembers 9 o'clock, things happened, whatever, I'm willing to look past it. All right? An hour after the show ends, everything just goes to you-know-what.
Yeah. Crap hits the fan.
Aaron Rodgers decides he's going to stay in Green Bay for another 4 years. And then he comes out, and Pat McAfee says, well, according to his source, which is Aaron Rodgers, nothing's been signed, but he does intend on playing for the Green Bay Packers.
Yep.
And while all of that is happening and you're trying to get all your information correct, Pete Carroll and the Seattle Seahawks decide we're going to trade Russell Wilson for 2 first-rounders, 2 second-rounders, I believe a 5th. Drew Lock, Noah Fant. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I don't like being, I don't like saying mean things, especially things that involve death. I think that's inappropriate. But I'm an inappropriate person. And I think Pete Carroll will be dead by the time they use all those picks. I can't believe Seattle chose 70-year-old Pete Carroll, who is well past it, who deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, by the way. He's an excellent coach, but he's not the guy for this job right now. They chose him over Russell Wilson, the guy that won the division not even 2 years ago. Unbelievable. How naive and stupid Seattle are this morning. They only got 2 first-round picks out of it. The 2 seconds are nice. They're okay, sure. You only got 2 first-round picks for Russell Wilson, who has a contract, and you're taking a salary cap hit? Drew Lock, Noah Fant, okay. What is that? Noah Fant's nice. He's a very good player, very talented tight end. That's nice. That's worthy of a first-round pick, let's say, right? So you technically got 3 first-round picks. For Russell Wilson? God. Oh, man. I can't believe it. To the Denver Broncos, that division now has Patrick Mahomes, Derek Carr, Justin Herbert, and Russell Wilson. The NFC, there are no quarterbacks in the NFC.
I know. They're all in the AFC.
They're all in the AFC. There's 8-9 quarterbacks in the AFC that can play for the next 7, 8, 10 years. Mm-hmm. That's ridiculous. Jeff, Russell Wilson to the Denver Broncos, I'm going to start with this question. What does it mean for Seattle?
Well, right now, a lot of things. I think the Pete Carroll conversation is probably the most interesting because, like you said, they're going into a rebuild right now. They cut Bobby Wagner yesterday. They traded Russell Wilson. And after I saw the trade initially, I thought to myself, well, this is all rooted back to Matthew Stafford. He started this trend of at least getting the first 2, first-round picks. He got the third-round pick. And then the Russell Wilson trade, now they get the second-round picks and Noah Fant. So what do I think of it? Pete Carroll. Don't know what the Seattle Seahawks are thinking. I think they're in a mess of their own selves. The NFC West, they're going to rot at the bottom of that division for quite some time, a couple of years now. They have Drew Lock. They're going to have the number 9 pick this year, I believe, so they're probably going to have their choice out of Malik Willis, Kenny Pickett, assuming they don't go earlier than that. But still, you traded away a guy who 2 years ago won your division and had 40 touchdown passes. I mean, he still has it. I think Denver right now is in a place to even challenge the division. I think right behind the Chiefs, I'd pick the Broncos. I like them. I like the team as a complete whole. And another thing I noticed, the Denver Broncos have been trying to find a quarterback since Peyton Manning. And last year they passed on Mac Jones, Justin Fields. They had the roster. I don't think anybody argued that. They have 2 great running backs. They have multiple wide receivers, decent offensive line. They have depth behind Noah Fant, and they have a good defense, offensive-minded head coach. It was kind of a great situation for Russell Wilson. And before we even talked about the Aaron Rodgers news, this is why yesterday I said he's probably staying in Green Bay because the Denver Broncos were discussing this Russell Wilson trade for the last 2 weeks. So they already had I think Russell was 1A, plan A, and then you had Aaron Rodgers, probably plan B. But they were able to get Russell Wilson. They got their guy, and I think this makes Denver an immediate contender. Although the AFC is extremely stacked, I mean, I know the jury's still out on Nathaniel Hackett, but Russell Wilson in that division, it's going to be a dogfight. I mean, you got 3 teams. I think the Chargers are going to get better, but I mean, the Chiefs and the Broncos, you got those divisional games, 6 games a year. It's going to be great, those 6 games. So for the Seattle Seahawks, they're probably going to be rebuilding for the next 5 years until they find a franchise quarterback. Don't know when that will be. Who knows who will be the head coach? But all I know is they've never been able to draft well. So I could give a rat's ass about those picks. I really could. Because Seattle, didn't they take Rashad Penny in the first round? I mean, this team has always had questionable draft picks. So.
Since Russell Wilson was drafted, the Seattle Seahawks have only drafted 3 Pro Bowlers. He's been in the league 12, 13 years.
So, yeah, good luck with the assets, man. I mean,
have fun.
It's
Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll leading a rebuild. 70-year-old Pete Carroll. Boy. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to watch. Seattle are going to be so bad next year, they probably will end up with Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud. I expect them to be 2-15,
Terrible.
3-14, something along those lines. They're so bad. Rest his soul, Paul Allen, all right? Former owner of the Seattle Seahawks.
Yep.
When he was in charge, everything was working just fine. They had no issues. He passes away, his sister or his wife takes over. One of the two.
His sister.
Is it his sister?
Yep.
His sister takes over, which gives Pete Carroll and the GM much more power.
Exactly.
And here we are, Seattle fans. Congratulations. You chose a 70-year-old man over a franchise quarterback who can still play another 5 to 7 years for you. Great job. Absolutely great job. I mean, Seattle, well done. Well done. I mean, come on. DK Metcalf, what's that mean for him? They just released Bobby Wagner. Seattle's going to hell, and I'm all for it. Those are some of the ugliest jerseys in the NFL. Oh, my God. When the Legion of Boom was around and they had those neon green jerseys, I wanted to kill myself. Thank God. Thank God they are going into the gutter. I will enjoy it. Seattle, fuck yourself.
And if Seattle, if anybody knows what it's like without Russell, they know, and they've experienced that before Russell Wilson. So the fact that they're willing to deal him and keep Pete Carroll, good luck with that. They're probably going to be trying to find a franchise quarterback through the next 5-10 years. So can't wait for it. It's going to be fun.
I mean, here we go. I don't even...
Is Pete Carroll, what's the over-under on how long he lasts? Honestly, I don't even...
Like, how long he lives or in the NFL?
Okay. How long he lasts in the NFL?
I think they're both the same.
So as soon as he retires, he just...
I think he'll be done. Goodbye.
Because what is he, like 70?
He's 70. Yeah, I'm being...
No, but
I'm
still,
being very
I mean, that's...
rude this morning, by the way.
I
know
assume,
that, guys. I
I
do understand.
I would assume Pete doesn't really want... I mean, to rebuild, what do you think, the next 3-4 years?
They don't have a choice.
But
they're going to have to rebuild. Drew Lock is not their quarterback. So immediately you look at the Seattle Seahawks. Tyler Lockett will get up there in age by the time they turn it around. Metcalf will likely be in his prime with a few years left.
Yeah.
You don't know what the defense is going to look like. That's been a problem for the last few years. Rashad Penny, that's your running back. Okay. You don't have an offensive line, and you don't have a quarterback. They need so much, and I don't think Schneider and Pete Carroll are the guys that are going to turn this around for them, at least in a 3-year window, which is my expectation for any rebuild to be completed, which is 3 years. I don't think Seattle does it. I have zero faith in Pete Carroll as a head coach right now. I said he should have been gone when Russell Wilson got injured, and here we are. Russell Wilson is gone over a 7-year-old Pete Carroll.
And I wonder,
fantastic.
I wonder if this is kind of the start. They already cut Bobby Wagner. They traded Russell Wilson. Like, what do you do with, Tyler Lockett? Like, these guys, these veterans that are on the team. I mean, they traded for Jamal Adams. You saw how that worked out. But I wonder what they do to these veterans on the team. Are they just going to rot away, or what's the plan? Are they going into a rebuild? They cut Bobby.
No, they are. It's not if. They are going
then
into
you better
a
start
rebuild.
getting rid of these assets that want to win some games, like Tyler Lockett. DK, he's younger. He'll be fine. But get Lockett on a good team. There's some other players on that team that definitely don't want to be there.
This puts them in such a bad spot because they're probably going to have to overpay for DK once his contract is up because they're not going to have anybody on the roster.
Very true.
And they're going to pay him a fat contract. We got to go to break. When we get back, Jordan Davis to the Detroit Lions at number 2. This may be the most egregious professional take I've ever heard of in my life. The most egregious. Jordan Davis at number 2 overall. Why? Wait till I tell you the logic. You won't believe it. I swear to God, I wish I was lying this morning. Maddie?
All right, well, we'll talk about that when we come back from the break. But before we go, we do need to hear about our friends at Guardian Alarm.
Yes, well, we talk about defenses, and, the Seattle Seahawks haven't been able to figure that out. But guess what? Guardian Alarm, they get it. Good defense on and off the field helps you feel secure. Guardian Alarm also has state-of-the-art technology that helps you feel safe, all with 24/7 local monitoring. Guardian Alarm also has convenient features, lets you check in on your home, control lights and temperatures, even detect smoke or carbon monoxide. It will let you lock and unlock doors. Call 800-STAY-OUT today. You heard Fish. That's 800-STAY-OUT. Guardian Alarm has been trusted for over 90 years at keeping families safe.
Everything that we've hoped for, finally.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brandon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
It's all happening now.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Your Detroit alternative to the normal sports blah, blah, blah. It's Woodward Sports.
Jordan freaking Davis, number 2 overall. That is the suggestion circling around the Metro Detroit area for the Detroit Lions. You know what, guys? There's a lot of things that piss me off. I try not to be upset. What time is it? It's 8:13 in the morning. I don't want to be stressed out. I want to deliver a show for you guys where we're having a good time. We're talking about sports. But Jesus Christ. Because a 340-pound lineman ran a 4.8 440, he is the consensus number 2 overall pick now because likely Aiden Hutchinson goes number 1 to Jacksonville. That is your logic. We are living in a beautiful time. Let me tell you. Ndamukong Suh is the comparison used.
Oh, wait.
Oh, yeah.
Are you serious?
And just to put some context on this, Ndamukong Suh, all right, who was taken number 2 overall, right?
Yeah.
So you can kind of compare in that way. I'm willing to listen, right?
Yep.
But I got to dig it deep.
Yeah, you got to dig a little deeper.
I don't let stuff slide.
No, that's why I love you.
The same Jordan Davis,
Yeah.
and same Ndamukong Suh. In Jordan Davis's 4-year career at Georgia, 7.5 sacks. Do you know how many Ndamukong Suh had his senior year? 13.5.
Yeah. What do you have?
And he was a Heisman finalist. And he was the most dominant, the most fearful defensive lineman we have seen come out in a while.
Yes.
That is not Jordan Davis.
Yep.
Jordan Davis looks like he'll be a very good run stopper. He looks like he'll occasionally get to the quarterback, but he's no Aaron Donald. He's no Ndamukong Suh coming out.
Right.
To suggest the Lions to take an interior lineman who at best will be a run stuffer, and a very good one, is egregious to me. It makes no sense at all. I'd rather you draft Kayvon Thibodeau than Jordan Davis at number 2. Please spare me the heart attack.
I would agree with you.
Jordan Davis, look, he's a nice player. Somebody will be very fortunate to grab him anywhere between 12 and 18, 20, depends where he goes, who knows. But you do not take him number 2 overall, given his impact won't be that of a number 2 overall pick. Was Ndamukong Suh a bust during his time in Detroit?
Oh, no.
I mean, statistically speaking,
Yeah.
I think you could make the argument it was underwhelming. He was
After
a dominant
that first
presence.
year,
Yeah,
they
I
had a
mean, the
great-
penalties added up,
Yeah.
the outburst,
Rookie
unsportsmanlike
year was
conduct. But he was a unit and a problem. Hell, in the preseason his rookie year, he almost killed Donovan McNabb.
Yeah.
To suggest Jordan Davis should be the number 2 overall pick, it really throws me off. I'm not a fan of it. I don't think it's the right move. I don't know how you justify it. I don't mind people having a different opinion than me. I don't mind Jeff telling me, well, Adam, I think we should go with Malik Willis, even though that's not what he thinks. But I don't mind it as long as we can have a fair conversation about it.
Right.
You suggesting Jordan Davis to me tells me I need to go home, contemplate life, and if that selection was made, or if you are the GM, this is how I like to think, and tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
When I give my opinion, especially on football players, especially on drafts, it's not only my opinion, it's what I would do if I was that GM, given all the circumstances. And if I'm the Detroit Lions GM, meaning Brad Holmes, Jordan Davis at number 2 is not even an option. It's not even on my board at number 2. It's not even part of the top 3 that I would consider taking. My top 3 on the board at number 2 are Aiden Hutchinson, Kayvon Thibodeau.
I like Trayvon Walker a lot.
I wouldn't even reach there at number 2. I would not reach for Trayvon Walker.
But if you had Jordan Davis or Trayvon, if you had to...
Oh, wow, you're asking me to jump off a bridge, honestly.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
I don't think it's that bad.
I do think it is that bad. I do think, but that is not clear to me. Jordan Davis, number 2. I wish I could understand why, and I wish there was a true reason outside of, he's incredibly fast for a big lineman.
So combine. You think that's a really good reason?
The combine wowed a lot of people. It wowed me. Look, it was impressive. I mean, my goodness. A man that big can run so fast. That is impressive. But you are not running downhill as a defensive lineman.
Right.
Your 40 time is basically irrelevant. Your job is to stop the run and get to the quarterback. And Jordan Davis right now is a 2-down lineman. He is not a 3-down lineman yet. Blows my mind. Jordan Davis at number 2. Jeff, what do you think?
It's tough for me. And I see the Jordan Davis talk, and it's funny because before the draft, before the combine, I know people were talking about, will Jordan Davis fall to us at 32? That was the conversation. Will he fall? How far will he fall? Then the combine happened. Now the conversation is, will we take him at number 2? And listen, I like Jordan Davis. I think he's a guy that whatever team he gets to in the NFL, he's going to be an immediate run stopper. He's going to make teams shy away from running the football. That's all very true. But at number 2, in my opinion, if you're selecting a interior defensive lineman, you got to be able to at least get to the quarterback. And 7 sacks through 4 years, I think once he gets drafted, he's going to be turning 26 or turning 27, one of the two. Or I believe it's 26. Very old. Right, the guy is pretty much a finished product. I get the combine numbers are extremely impressive. I'm not going to argue that. I just think there's 4 guys I would rather take. And you mentioned 2 of them, Aiden Hutchinson, Kayvon Thibodeau, I would feel more comfortable taking despite the things people say about him and his mentality. Honestly, I might even lean a little towards Kyle Hamilton despite the bad combine at that point. If you can't trade out, of course. I think Trayvon or Kyle Hamilton, you have to trade out to get him. But Jordan Davis, I think he's interesting. He's a very interesting guy, a great, crazy athletic man for his size. Probably had the most impressive combine for his size and his weight. But to reach and take him at number 2, for a guy to come into the Lions and be a run stopper, I don't see it.
Is he Aaron Donald? The hell he is.
Hell no.
He's a run stopper at best who could get to the quarterback 3.5 to 6.5 times in a great year at best. This is not a consistent 10.5, 12.5 sack guy every single year. He's an effective run stopper, which is great. Love to have him on the football team. Not at number 2 overall. There is zero value in taking Jordan Davis at number 2. Now, if he's available at number 32. Oh, well, you're damn right I'm on the phones. That sounds interesting. Jordan Davis at number 32, absolutely. But there's a big difference between taking an interior lineman number 2 overall who looks like Jordan Davis, who plays like Jordan Davis. I'm not a fan of Jordan Davis at all. Not at number 2 overall. I think it's ridiculous. I can't believe it's being suggested. And I would love to know why. If you guys in the chat, please explain to me why you believe Jordan Davis is a good selection, an absolute home run hit at number 2. And I don't even want to talk about, will he be a success? Let's say he is successful. What does that look like?
Yeah, what's his like ceiling?
What's a successful Jordan Davis pick look like? A run stopper? Okay. What else am I getting? 3.5 to 5.5 sacks a year? Oh, okay. Didn't I take 2 interior linemen last year? Oh, I did. Yes, they need help. Yes, they need to grow. But to select an interior lineman after I took 2 last year, At number 2 overall, I would be the dumbest GM in the NFL. And not only would I be the dumbest GM, I would resign that night if I selected Jordan Davis number 2. That is a fireable decision. It's not even funny. I swear I'm not trying to be dramatic right now. Selecting Jordan Davis number 2 overall is a fireable decision. That's like the Jaguars drafting Sauce Gardner number 1 overall. Fireable decision. I'm not joking now. You don't make that move. You need an edge rusher. You do whatever the hell it takes to position yourself to get an edge rusher. And if Aiden is on the board and you take a Jordan Davis, I mean, you're
It's
just
tough.
the Lions. You're back to the Lions narrative. I'm trying really hard to give you guys the benefit of the doubt. But Jordan Davis at number 2 is the most egregious pick I've ever been suggested in my life, honestly. It's pathetic.
Yeah. No, especially when I have 4 guys I'd rather take. I get it. Jordan Davis, he's 22, he's a senior, 4-year starter. And I would rather take, and I already mentioned it, I mean, if Aiden Hutchinson actually goes number 1, which you don't really know at this point, you guys can't argue with me. You'd rather have Jordan Davis over Kayvon, even Trayvon, or if you trade back, even Kyle Hamilton. Like, it's blasphemy to me. So
here's a suggestion. Jordan Davis adds success for your other edge players. To too long of an explanation over the chat. No, Bloody Mary, no, actually. Because where Jordan Davis fits is with a team with actual edge rushers. That's what it means. So a team like a Washington, who actually has edge rushers already set up.
Right.
Philadelphia at 15, that's a great fit for Jordan Davis. Not number 2 to Detroit, who don't have a pass rush. That does not work. It doesn't fit at all.
yes.
So
You're adding Jordan Davis to a team who is damn near last in the NFL and getting to the quarterback. And I get it, Jordan Davis, he could be able to get to the quarterback, but not at the rate of these other guys. And that's the problem I have. Can he get you 10 sacks a year? Or 8 sacks, 10 sacks a year? I don't know. I like Jordan Davis, crazy athleticism, but I need a guy that can get after the quarterback. I got Kayvon, Trayvon, I have a little more faith in. Jordan's a solid player, but number 2 overall, my God. I mean, if you trade back to...
Would you draft Ndamukong Suh if he was in this draft, number 2 overall, if Aiden Hutchinson goes number 1? Yes, you would. Wouldn't? I would for sure.
Yeah.
Am I answering correctly for you?
Yeah, I would agree with
You
you.
absolutely would. Ndamukong Suh gave you 10 sacks year 1.
Yeah.
He gave you 22 sacks in his first 3 years.
And I think an
For an
interception.
interior lineman, you jackasses. Different prospect coming out. Heisman finalist. He did more in his senior year than Jordan Davis did all 4 years in college. Kick rocks. Look, I get it. It's NFL draft time. Everybody's getting excited about prospects. I get it. You want to fall in love with a prospect. Don't be stupid. Don't be delusional. Jesus.
And to answer Steve, we also don't know if Jordan Davis at 330 can't rush the passer and play all 3 downs. Very true. And I also want to mention this. Adam, I want to ask you this. Would you rather, or what would be worst for you? They drafted Malik Willis or Jordan Davis, number 2 overall?
I'd rather they take the quarterback.
Really?
Please, take Malik Willis. I'll fucking pick him up from the airport. I'll do whatever you want. Don't you draft a goddamn defensive tackle at number 2, please. Take the quarterback. At least I can hold you responsible for it.
Yeah.
I can't justify taking a defensive tackle at number 2 overall. I might kill myself.
That didn't, yeah. Yeah.
The hell are we doing?
Davis equals Sue. No, please.
Come
Guys,
on.
guys.
We're such a better sports town than this.
Yes.
We're such smarter people than this. Jordan Davis at number 2 overall. Comparing him to Ndamukong Suh. He walked into the league and murdered people. He had 10 sacks year 1. Jesus Christ. Jordan Davis is nothing like Ndamukong Suh as a prospect coming out. He is nothing like Aaron Donald as a prospect coming out. Stop comparing these 20, 21, 22, 23-year-olds to essentially phenomenal players in the NFL. It doesn't make sense. Try to look at them as best as you can as an individual. Yes, you compare parts of their game. I have no problems with that. But Jesus Christ, don't tell me Ndamukong Suh. That is one of the most ridiculous things I have ever heard in my life. I can't even justify it. Like, you guys need to understand who Ndamukong Suh is coming out of college. The fact that he even got to you at number 2 was a miracle.
One of the best defensive players in college.
I believe Sam Bradford went number 1 overall. So if Bradford wasn't coming out to the Rams, Sue goes number 1.
Right.
He was the best player in the entire draft, and he fell to 2. Into your lap. Jordan Davis is not even the 5th, 7th, 8th, 10th best player in this draft. You guys are ridiculous. Year 1, All-Pro. Year 1, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Year 1, Pro Bowl. 10 sacks, 1 touchdown, 17 quarterback hits, 13 tackle for losses. Shut the hell up. Ndamukong Suh and Jordan Davis.
And I get people are understanding they're 2 different types of players, but the point is, if you're not understanding the point, no, he's not saying they're the same player. It's the value at number 2.
Doug DeGraff, I think, just gave a really good comparison. Vince Wilfork, I think that is a beautiful comparison in terms of body size, right? Very big, wide men, run stuffers. I would love to have a Vince Wilfork on the team. Don't get me wrong. If that's Jordan Davis, fuck yeah, let's go, baby. Not at number 2 overall.
Yeah.
You fucks.
Can he be
Fish.
Can he be Wilfork with like 10.5 sacks? That's ideal.
It's not. It's just not a thing. Maddie, we got to go to break. Sean Murphy's on the line.
Oh.
Yes, he
We
is.
got to talk some Detroit Pistons. I need to calm down before I have a heart attack.
You might not be able to. You might talk some Jeremy Grant.
Yeah, you guys talk whatever the hell you want. You guys bring up Jeremy Grant. Somebody's getting punched in the face today. Swear to God.
You guys are going to want to hear this.
All right, Maddie.
Well, before we go, we do need to hear about Gypsy Vodka. We need to hear about it, not watch you drink it, just so you know.
We take Jordan Davis at number 2. I'm telling you right now, I will chug 2 whole bottles of Gypsy Vodka, and I'm not kidding. I am so tired of this talk. But anyways, I'm going to move past it, guys. Gypsy Vodka, Michigan's smoothest and best tasting vodka on the market. It's Michigan's vodka, gluten-free. Check them out at gypsyvodka.com. And as always, please, please, please support local businesses. They're locally owned and operated up in Petoskey, Michigan. Ask for it by the name of Gypsy. And as always, do drink responsibly.
Think you're a big shot?
Oh, excuse me, it goes down!
Think you can make the big shot?
Washington fires and hits!
Woodward Sports wants to send you to the finals for college basketball April 2nd through the 4th in New Orleans. That's right, you and a friend in the Big Easy. We'll take care of the airfare, hotel, and tickets to see the finals for college basketball. Listen Monday through Friday to the Morning Woodward Show. Big D Energy. And the bottom line for your chance to qualify. If you can make the big shot, you and a friend are getting out of the cold and to New Orleans.
Got it!
Keep listening and watching for your next chance to win. Powered by Planet Fitness, Centron, and the Sports Marketing Agency.
And it's over! Anything can happen in March!
Hi, I'm Cade Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, the mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Welcome back, and thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. We have a very special guest joining us now. Sean Murphy is here. We got to talk some Pistons. Sean, welcome to the show.
Maddie, Adam,
Sean.
Jeff, thank you so much for having me back.
What's going
Adam,
on?
so good to see you.
What do you want, Sean?
Oh, you know what I want. You know exactly where I'm going. If I could walk through the parade behind me like you did when Matt Stafford made the Super Bowl with how Jeremy
I'm glad
Grant
you enjoy my
played
misery,
since
you
I've been here.
jackass.
Oh, 100%. I'm dancing on it, man. I am having a blast over here. But no, in all seriousness, thank you guys so much for having me. Always love being here. You guys are one of my favorite things to watch when I wake up in the morning. So to be on the show, always a pleasure. So let's do this.
Man, I love you, Sean. I'm so happy to have you here. I got a lot to talk about, especially, you know, now you get this kind of after post All-Star break. The Pistons look very good, 6-2. They've been winning a whole lot of games, and you're starting to see, I call them the Schmedium 3. You're seeing Sadiq Bey, Jeremy Grant, and Cade Cunningham pretty much almost all close to 20 points per game over this 8-game stretch. So I want to ask you, you've been watching these games, what could that success be attributed to?
A couple things. First of all, Cade Cunningham's growing up right in front of our eyes. We've been seeing him play really well throughout the season, and a lot of us in Detroit don't question that. Cade Cunningham's Rookie of the Year. Cade Cunningham is the right guy to draft at number 1 overall. However, there's a difference between playing really well in NBA games and coming up short and helping lead your team to games, to winning games. So I think Kate Cunningham's growing up right in front of our eyes. I think you do, in all seriousness, Adam, this isn't a dig at you, but you do have to look at Jeremy Grant and Sadiq Bey and the way that all three of them have been playing together. I mean, Jeremy Grant, who was struggling for good parts of the year, is over this stretch. He's averaging 46% of the field. He's shooting 38% from three. They're all three of them are averaging around 50% from the field. And with the ball movement that the team's been using in the offensive end, with having a guy like Marvin Bagley that can go over the rim, I mean, they've won 6 of their last 8 because of the offense that they're playing, but also they're actually playing some pretty good defense. They held Trae Young the other night to 14 points, which is something that's almost unseen. If you look at the stat sheet and Killian Hayes has 1 less point than Trae Young, you're doing something right.
Well, Killian Hayes is largely responsible for the night against Trae Young. I mean, he has been exceptional during this run. I know you guys bring up Sadiq Bey, you bring up Jeremy Grant. Really, the X factor, that 1A absolute alpha on this team that is the reason for all of their success and their ability to play the way they play, number 1 is Cade Cunningham. And I'd go as far to say it's number 2 is not Sadiq Bey or Jeremy Grant. It's actually Killian Hayes, because he's not averaging over 29 minutes during the stretch. And he is giving you minutes on defense that no other player on the court is giving you. Killian Hayes, for me, Sean, he is really blossoming in front of your eyes. Look, the 13 points was nice, don't get me wrong. But my goodness, the defensive effort you're getting out of Killian Hayes night in and night out, this is the Killian Hayes you want to see if you're a Detroit Pistons fan.
Yeah, I Hayes has been really good. There's been some nights where he's looked quite impressive. I think the Atlanta game, I think we can put up there with some of his best games in a Detroit Pistons uniform. I think his confidence is being displayed on both sides of the. I think that defense that he does play is carrying over to the offensive end. I would be hesitant to say that he's been like the X factor, like the second reason why, because in this stretch there still have been some games where he hasn't come out and played the best basketball. However, to your point, he is starting to string it together more consistently. I think him, but a lot of other guys on this team are starting to find what their role is. And I think this team is, as I kind of talked about a little bit last week, it's like, all right, well, let's find our identity. What are we looking for? And I think the Pistons over this stretch, I think they found a little bit of their identity when they're winning basketball games. It's tough defense. It's moving the ball. It's playing together as a unit. You know what I mean? So I think there's just been a lot of things in Killian Hayes alike where they're just figuring out their roles, they're finding their identity, and they're being more confident in that.
And me and Easy got actually a very great opportunity yesterday. We went down to George Crockett Elementary and saw Cade, and Easy got to ask him a question regarding just lately and how they've been playing. His biggest reason for that is he said, we've just been learning how to play together. Me, Sadiq, Jeremy, we've been getting more comfortable. We're learning more about each other now on the basketball court. And that's where my next question comes into play, because Jeremy Grant, he's been playing great basketball lately. I can't really complain about it. Where are you right now? I know your thoughts on Jeremy, but are you still a part of the camp where, listen, Jeremy's a great player and he'll probably be here next year. He's an expiring deal. Are you one that says, listen, we're still going to have to eventually deal Jeremy Grant? Or are you on kind of the side of maybe we can extend Jeremy Grant? What are you feeling right now?
Yeah, so I think our natural reaction anytime anything happens to the player is to overreact any single way. So about a month ago, Jeremy Grant needed to be traded for pennies on the dollar. Now people are saying that Jeremy Grant needs to be on this roster for the long term, and he's going to be winning games.
Who said that? They can go fuck themselves. No. Who said that? Who said that, Sean? You tell me. I want their DM. I want their on social media. I want their address. And I have a baseball bat ready for whoever's a jackass that said that.
Well, here's what I was gonna say, Adam. Here, before you get angry, calm down. I wish I could be there in studio to put my hand on your shoulder. But anyway, Jeremy Grant, in my opinion, it still comes down to what the Detroit Pistons will be able to do in the draft. I think now more than ever, I think they have a little bit more luxury to say, okay, well, wherever we do end up in the lottery, whatever we do have at our disposal to select, I think does determine where Jeremy Grant will be, because if they still get a guy like Chet or Jabari, which if they keep playing basketball like this, that looks a little bit less likely, right? But if they're still able to land someone like that, I still am hard pressed to see Jeremy Grant on this team next year. I definitely think it's highly likely that he still gets traded. However, the blueprint for what Troy Weaver and Dwayne Casey saw in this trio is starting to be shown. Like they're certainly at least taking a look and saying, okay, this is working right now. And again, it is the thing where it's the conversation we had last week where I was like, no, Jeremy Grant is not a scrub. And at the very least, we're seeing Jeremy Grant is not a scrub. And so far, playing and learning to play with Sadiq and Cade has been really good for him. So is his future sealed in Detroit because of this run? No, I really don't think much has changed. However, I do think the blueprint of what it would look like for Jeremy to be in Detroit long term, I think we're starting to see like what that would have to look like.
All right, before I give it over to Adam, I do want to ask you one more question because it's something that we've talked about here on the morning show and just something that I've went back and forth with other Pistons fans about this offseason. You got a couple guys that are going to be available. The DeAndre Aytons of the world, the Miles Bridges of the world, all these guys. Who is your ideal fit? Because we had this conversation. Would you rather have a Miles Bridges or a DeAndre Ayton? Where are you at right now? Are you a guy who we need size, or we just need a guy who can come in like a Miles Bridges and get 24 points a game? Where are you at right now on that free agency?
Yeah, I mean, selfishly, I salivate looking at either Bridges or Ayton in a Pistons uniform and thinking about what either of them would be able to do for us. Personally, if I were to have to pick between the two, I do think a guy like DeAndre Ayton could come in and immediately change the outlook of our team right now. I just think his paint presence, everything that he does on a court, I mean, he's very underrated in what the Phoenix Suns are doing. And if for whatever reason he's not brought back to Phoenix, I think that would be a very, very big mistake. I also look at a guy like Jalen Brunson down in Dallas as well, point guard, who's been playing really well for them. He's really young, 25 years old. He's been like the second or third ball handler other than Luka Doncic. He can shoot the three. That's a guy that I know Troy Weaver's reportedly having interest in. So he's a guy that I look at as well. I think the Pistons will definitely be making some moves this summer. They're going to have over, $40 million in salary cap this off season. And, a lot of it could also be used next summer as well in that free agency class. But I certainly think Jalen Brunson's one to be looking out for. I think that's one Detroit will make a run at for sure. Otherwise, I do think that next summer is probably when they're a little more aggressive. However, Jalen Brunson's on the top of my list for who we want to get this summer for sure.
Yeah, I don't see the DeAndre Ayton move working out for two reasons. One, he can re-sign for the Supermax with Phoenix, obviously with his first deal expiring. And secondly, he is a restricted free agent. So whatever Detroit offers, which will technically be less in terms of total amount of money given,
they'll match it.
They'll likely match it. I don't see DeAndre Ayton as a realistic option. But listen, Sean, I'm going to be honest with you. There's not going to be a bigger Jeremy Grant fan going into next year than me. I'm going to be supporting this guy. I want him to play the best basketball possible. Hell, I want him to be like Russell Westbrook. I want him to average 30, 10, and 10 if he can. Why? So we can trade that motherfucker right before the trade deadline. He can get the hell out of town. I am done with Jeremy Grant. He doesn't fit with this basketball team, and, it's nothing personal against him. He's a good basketball player. He's not a 1. He's not a 2. He's a good number 3. But the value in Jeremy Grant, it doesn't make sense long term. I prefer to keep a Marvin Bagley. I like the pick and roll option. And when he's played more than 22 minutes this season, and he's only just joined the Pistons, they're 4-0. I prefer him to get more minutes. I like how him and Cade operate. And Marvin Bagley's very, very young. And on top of that, you're going to end up with a top 3, top 5 pick. Who knows? You may have the number 1 overall pick. Who knows? Whatever the case is, you're going to end up with likely a 4 or 5 going into the draft. And after that, well, where does Jeremy Grant fit into this team? Sadiq likely moves to the 3. Killian, does he start at the 1? Cade is the 2. And then at the 4 is likely the kid you drafted. Or it could be Chet and Bagley plays the 4. Who knows? You don't know until you draft them, right? It could be a Jabari Smith. It could be Ivy. There's so many options for the Pistons, but Jeremy Grant doesn't fit into this team long term. He's not coming off the bench. He wants to be a number 2. Hell, he talks like he's a number 1. I mean, it's people like him and Russell Westbrook why, the world is going to hell and there's a war in Ukraine. It's people like that cause all this stuff.
Okay, well, all right. So first of all, the fact that he can't play on first of all, I think a lot of the things that he can't play on this team or that he can't play with Sadiq Bey, or that he can't play with Cade Cunningham. I think a lot of that's being put to bed. If you look at the shot charts, Cade Cunningham's the number one option on this team.
Thank God.
He's been the number one option on this team for a couple months, and Jeremy Grant certainly he certainly seceded on that. There's nights where Jeremy Grant is the third option. There's nights where Jeremy Grant's shot isn't falling, he's the fourth option. But the nice thing about this run has been it hasn't really mattered. Like, as long as Cade Cunningham and then someone else, whether it's Sadiq, whether it's Jeremy, whether it's even a guy like Marvin Bagley coming off the bench and he had 16 points for us the other night in 36 minutes. He's going to have a lot more playing time over the next week or so while Isaiah Seward's out with injury. But I think Jeremy Grant, the argument that he can't fit on this team is just not necessarily. I mean, he's not even that old. He's 27 years old. So in the long-term scope of this franchise,
if I may, so I do want to clarify what I mean by fit, right? Can he play with them? Sure, right? These last 8 games, I think you're seeing a competent Pistons basketball team. Is he part of the team in 2, 3, 4 years from now when Cade Cunningham is in his prime? Sadiq Bey has reached maybe his ceiling. Where you look at it and like, oh yeah, that's part of our contending team. I don't see him being a part of the team that actually takes the next step and wins basketball games. The guy was a quote-unquote, people cried he wasn't an all-star last year. Pistons sucked. And they're actually better now with Cade on the court than they are with Jeremy Grant. Cade is clearly carrying the team. His play, whether he takes more shots or not, is actually more of a contributing factor to the team winning basketball games. My beef with Jeremy Grant is I don't see him being a long-term solution here, and I'd like to see him traded in the offseason or before the deadline. Get what you can out of him. You're going to have a top 3 pick likely. Move on.
Yeah, and I certainly think that is a very likely scenario. And if you're to ask me what I think the Pistons should do, part of me leans toward, okay, Jeremy probably should be traded so that we can bring something in return. So, Adam, again, you and I do not disagree on what more than likely the Detroit Pistons should be doing as far as their future goes. Because, again, I do see that point. However, again, if we do ultimately end up with Jeremy Grant, and at least into next year, it's just there is a lot of reason to be okay with that, especially with how things are looking right now. Now, again, over the next course of the month, we have a pretty tough schedule remaining this week. We have more playoff teams are going to be playing. I would imagine, that the Detroit Pistons will be falling down to earth a little bit again here pretty soon. But, again, there's a lot of reasons to be optimistic. There's a lot of reasons to look forward to what they're doing. But again, with Jeremy Grant, I think it is going to come down to what they do in the draft. Now, if they get like Jordan Ivey out of Purdue, if they get a guy like him instead, where we ultimately land at like 4 or 5, and that's who we have available. Again, at that point, the argument for Jeremy Grant's fit on this team long term changes a little bit. Now they can make some trades, they can do something in the draft, anything could be different. However, again, if they don't land a guy like Jabari, Paolo, or Chet, then I certainly think Jeremy's spot on this team just becomes that much more important, at least in the end.
I think, it's funny. It's almost like Cade is hearing all this BS about not winning. And because the last 8 games, he's 6-2, and he's averaging 21.5 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. So something just clicked in this man after we started talking about the Rookie of the Year conversation. And that's kind of where I want to head to for you. I know we asked you, and it's kind of we do this every time you come on because I want to see where your head's at. I've been defending Cade, and I tweeted out last night kind of a comparison between him and LaMelo Ball's Rookie of the Year stats and how very similar they were. I get it's a different draft class, but where are you right now on Cade Cunningham? Should he be the front runner? I'm assuming yes, but if not, does Evan Mobley have a little bit of an edge over him, or is it all the Pistons' man to lose? Is it Cade's to lose?
Yeah, in my opinion, Cade Cunningham should be running away with this award right now. Just as far as, if the argument is who's the best rookie in this class, it's Cade Cunningham. He's first in points, second in assists, top 5 in rebounds, overall shooting, like everything. If you want to go down almost every single category, Cade Cunningham is in the conversation in each of those statistical categories for rookies. Now, with Evan Mobley, his role in Cleveland might get a little bigger here over the next month because Jared Allen actually just went down with an injury. So the responsibility is going to be more on Evan Mobley's shoulders with the Cavaliers, and he's definitely playing good basketball. But Cleveland Cavaliers of late have not been as hot as the Detroit Pistons, but also I just think, again, Cade Cunningham just affects winning in a lot more ways than Evan Mobley does. Not a shot at Evan Mobley. He's a really good player. But if you look at it just statistically, if you look at everything that they've done all year, there's no rookie that's come close to doing what Cade Cunningham's done. He just got his 6th game of the season with at least 25, 5, and 5. The rest of the class still doesn't even match that number. Cade Cunningham's at 6. So in a lot of ways, he's just lapping them. And, if we look back on this year and we say, okay, Evan Mobley won Rookie of the Year, I think we're still going to be saying, oh, yeah, but Cade Cunningham was definitely the best player in this class. And if that's what the award is based on, just like what team is in the playoffs, then the award isn't going to the right person. It should be going to the person that is the best player in this class, the Rookie of the Year. You know what I mean? So,
right.
Cade Cunningham, in my opinion, is running away with it.
I think we're all with you, Sean. Before I let you go, I got to slip this one in. The MVP conversation. There is a guy who I truly believe, and I mean this sincerely. Look, I know Jokic is having a good season, Embiid, Ja Morant. I know these guys are having phenomenal years. But there's a guy that is not getting enough respect in the NBA.
Who are you about to say?
This guy is averaging 18, 7, and 6. He is dominating ball possession. He is the contributing factor on why his team loses every night. It's Russell Westbrook. Why isn't he getting any love this year, Sean? I mean, he's the best player in the NBA, right?
I mean, best point guard in the league. The Lakers made a phenomenal decision trading for him. They're right up there in the Western Conference. And no, it's been an absolute show when it comes to when it comes to the Russell Westbrook experience over in LA. Hey, listen, man, he's having to ask people to stop calling him Russell Westbrook.
He is.
Yeah,
he's a walking brick.
Listen, seeing Russell Wilson get traded to the Denver Broncos is the closest I want to see Russell Westbrook get traded to the Detroit Pistons. That was even seeing Russell and then with a letter D. I was like, no, trade deadline's passed. I don't want the Pistons to have Russell Westbrook.
You know what Russell Westbrook deserves? He deserves to get traded to the Orlando Magic. That's what he deserves.
Why the Orlando Magic?
Because he should just go there, rot, and win 20 games every year for the rest of his career. He can go put up his triple-doubles. And you know what? I hope to God, we remember Russell Westbrook for what he was. A phenomenal athlete, explosive, great hustle. Shitty basketball player.
Yeah, and he's ultimately to the end for his, in some ways it was Russell Westbrook is authentically self in a good way, and in a lot of ways it was to his detriment, especially this season. Just the fact that, reports say that he's, defiant and not changing, that he has to be who he is. I mean, Jesus Christ.
But what is he? He sucks. He sucks.
He's been terrible. There's no way to put it.
All right, fair enough. Sean, you were great. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Got to have you back soon. Hopefully the Pistons continue this run. Maybe not. Depends who you are as a fan, whether you want the pick or not. But Sean Murphy, guys, Woodward Sports,
Appreciate
legend.
You, Sean.
Give him a follow on Twitter. Go subscribe to his YouTube channel. Sean Murphy, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, Sean. We got to go to break. When we get back, what the hell is the NFC going to look like next year? Russell Wilson traded. Kyler Murray, we have no idea what's going on there. Aaron Rodgers returning to Green Bay. Who are the contenders in the NFC? I can't wait to talk about this. Maddie?
We'll talk about that when we get back, but before we go, we do need to hear about MyBookie.
All right, guys, MyBookie, the only place you should be placing your sports bets this March Madness. Bet from anywhere, anytime using MyBookie. Sign up using code Woodward. They'll match your first deposit dollar for dollar. You put in $100, they'll match you $100. You put in $200-$300, they'll match you with $200-$300. Don't forget to sign up today using code Woodward. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, if you absolutely suck at sports betting or you have a gambling problem, call the Gambling Problem Hotline at 1-800-270-7117.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Everybody, yeah, everybody, yeah. Take it up to the top, make the body never stop, make it loud, make it real, let them know that we're here.
Watch again on YouTube or download the podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Adam, I think I have to disclose this to you, okay? So, I used to be a huge Russell Westbrook fan.
You mother.
Oh, boy. And last night I was wearing a Russell Westbrook jersey.
Yeah?
While I hung out
Where
at
were you?
my house.
Your house?
Yeah. I did go
Bring
to a
that
gas
jersey.
station.
Bring that jersey to work tomorrow.
It's an OKC jersey.
It's okay. Bring it to work.
It's a good one.
Oh, Adam, you're already looking for a replacement.
It's gonna get
I just,
burned.
like,
It's
I
gonna
just
burn
had
on
to,
this desk tomorrow.
You know, it's been like really eating me inside. I was like, I just had to tell him. I had to tell him.
I'm so disappointed.
Are you a Russell Westbrook fan now?
Join the club of all the people that are disappointed in me. There's quite a few. So.
Are you a
Well,
Russell
I'm not
Westbrook?
disappointed in you in that way, but.
That's okay. I just had to I had to get it
now
off
you
my
make
chest.
me
I
feel
feel
bad
better.
for saying that.
No,
Are
it's
you
okay.
Are you a Russell Westbrook fan now?
Are you still a Russell Westbrook fan?
No, it actually.
So
like,
you've recovered from your
it hurts.
disease.
Don't let him
So
bully you.
like that's not the thing, right? So like it hurts to watch him because I know how good he can be.
He was. He was.
Yeah.
He was. Look, he was great to watch 8 years ago. He's sucked donkey balls for the last 5 years.
I'm not gonna say you're wrong.
And you
I'm
know
not
what?
gonna say
Maybe your
you're-
OKC jersey was from 8 years ago. Maybe I'll. You know
Listen,
what?
we're all
I'll
recovering
go.
addicts. It's okay to admit you were wrong or something. Look, I get it. Like, you used to support him. Now you don't. You're entering that phase of
But
recovery.
I do still support him. That's the thing.
Oh, do you? Or
But
you have a
yes.
problem?
No, well, I have a lot of
You
problems.
have this is the worst problem you have in your life right now.
But it's
We need to
only
get you on
because-
the journey to recovery.
It's only because I'm like, man, you can be better than this.
No, he can't.
Like, it
That's the
sucks.
problem.
It sucks to watch
He
him.
can't be better, Maddie.
Yes, he can.
This is the underlying problem with Russell Westbrook. He thinks he can be better. He can't.
No, he doesn't think he can be better. He thinks he's good right now.
He thinks
That's
he's
his
great. I
problem.
wish he thought he was good.
That's his problem.
My God, I would pay him whatever he wants if he just thought he was good. He thinks he's great. He thinks he's excellent. He thinks he's a 1.
But that's his problem.
I know that, and that's your problem.
Hey,
But I don't think he's great right now. I think
hope
he
not.
can be.
He can't. No. All right. Maddie has an addiction issue. We're going to
Anyways.
address this after the show.
Whatever.
We're going to seek help for Maddie. Don't
I
worry,
just had to
everybody.
disclose
We'll
that
make sure
before
she
we
gets
moved
taken
on.
care of. All of your
Hey.
health costs will be covered.
Everybody's got their own little skeletons in the closet. I got 2 LeBron jerseys in my closet. So, you know what? Well, we won't even go there. We'll stick to the NFC where we need to stay. And listen,
Are they
NFC,
Cavs and Heat or just Cavs or just Heat or?
I got Cavs and Lakers. But anyway, moving on.
Cavs and Lakers. Okay.
Fish, we can't stay on it. People are going to lose their minds. But anyway, moving on. NFC.
They sure
My
do.
God.
All right.
Quarterbacks outlook.
Let's start in the NFC West.
Okay.
Russell Wilson leaves. What does
Yeah.
that leave us with? Uncertainty, Drew Lock basically in Seattle,
Yes.
right? Kyler Murray in Arizona.
You want to see what Trey Lance is.
Trey Lance, I think, can
He's
be
been pretty
exciting
good.
and young, explosive.
Yep.
And, of course, Matthew Stafford. In the NFC North, it's just Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
In the NFC East, Dak Prescott? Okay.
Yeah.
NFC South? Anybody?
Good luck. Matt
Ryan?
Matt Ryan? Sam Darnold?
Look, I'll be I want to be the first to say it.
Yeah.
If the Green Bay Packers and the Los Angeles Rams are not playing each other in the Super Bowl, or excuse me, in the NFC Championship game,
Right.
that may be one of the most catastrophic failures from 2 contending teams in recent time. Aaron Rodgers, I don't need you guys to win 13 games, but look around you. Who are you going to lose to again, huh? What, Dak Prescott's going to beat you in the playoffs? Huh? Who? Who's going to beat you? Who? Who? Who?
Who's going to beat you? That's the question. Who?
Who? I don't believe there's any contenders outside of the teams I just named. I do think the Vikings this year are going to be much better than people expect. But looking at the NFC, Jeff,
It's bad.
it's the Rams, Packers, and everybody else has question marks.
Yes.
What the hell are we doing here?
I'm not buying any stock in Dallas. I'm not buying any stock in Arizona. San Francisco, you're still kind of waiting to see what Trey Lance is. Philadelphia, we're still kind of not sold on Jalen Hurts. Needs another year. Made the playoffs, impressive. But again, most of these teams, I mean, Washington was trying to make a run at Russell Wilson. They weren't able to get him, probably because the Seattle Seahawks didn't want him in the NFC. But I could argue the Lions have a, top 6 quarterback in the NFC. Like this, they have Aaron Rodgers, they have Dak Prescott, Matthew Stafford, those guys, Kyler Murray. After that, I mean, you're really arguing Kirk Cousins over Jared Goff. That's really the argument. So it's good for the Lions in the NFC, of course, but for other teams, you're right, absolutely. If the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers chose to stay in Green Bay. So if the Green Bay Packers aren't playing in an NFC Championship game, I think I know the narrative on Aaron Rodgers is already spoken about. It's already true, but that would solidify it. You're in an NFC with probably a good 3 quarterbacks can make the Super Bowl. 3. And you don't make the NFC Championship. I think it would be, honestly, the most upsetting, the biggest surprise to all Packers fans. Not that they're really surprised about Aaron losing in the playoffs, but I don't see a reason why they can't. AFC is absolutely stacked. You have about 10 quarterbacks deep in that conference. The NFC is honestly just a joke at this point. Like a lot of young guys. You have Justin Fields. You have a lot of these guys that you don't even know who they are, what they are yet. Trey Lance, Jalen Hurts. But if you're 5th best quarterback, 4th best quarterback in that division or in that conference is Kyler Murray, I mean, my God.
The guy who can't see over his offensive line?
The guy who wants $50 million, I think. I don't like.
Everybody wants to get paid.
Yeah.
I should get $50 million.
Yeah.
The hell is this? What are we doing, NFL? The NFL should honestly have a salary cap for quarterbacks and then the rest of the team. It's getting ridiculous at this point. I mean, in a perfect world, right? I think there should be a percentage reduction on the salary cap in terms of when you pay your quarterback. Because I think you should be rewarded for drafting the right quarterback, not punished. Because when you draft the right quarterback, you have him on a rookie deal. Once you pay him, it's very difficult to have a good team around him, or at least a very good team, I should say. Even though it can be done and you can push all the money later. But maybe instead of letting you eat up 25, 30, 33% of the salary cap, maybe we have a limit where, based on annual salary, it goes up to a certain percentage where it doesn't, handcuff the team. I think that's something to be discussed maybe in the future.
Mm-hmm.
I really have to probably dive deeper into it and kind of completely lay out what I'm thinking right now. But I'm kind of trying to throw it out there because I'm not sure if it's a good idea to punish teams that get the quarterback right. So Lamar Jackson will be punished, and the Ravens, when they pay him. Matt Ryan and the Falcons, Stafford and the Lions. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Dak Prescott recently? Yeah, I get you.
So the NFL has to do something about that, but we had, I would say, the not-so-shocking news break yesterday. And I tried to tell you guys, there's too much money involved. Aaron's not leaving. Aaron doesn't want to play anywhere else. Why is he just going to get up and leave Green Bay? This isn't a Brett Favre situation, and here we are. Allegedly, they've agreed to terms. Nothing's been signed yet. Aaron Rodgers returns to Green Bay. Maddie, when we get back from the break, top of the hour, we're going to get into Aaron Rodgers going back to the Pack for potentially 4 more years, 2 more years. We know for next year for sure, for certain.
Yeah.
We know next year for certain how that affects Devontae Adams, who was franchise tagged yesterday, and the rest of the team. That we'll get into next.
All right, sounds good. We'll talk about that when we come back. But before we go, we do need to hear about Planet Fitness.
Planet Fitness, the studio sponsor of the Woodward Sports Network. We're so excited to have them on board. Ladies and gentlemen, sign up for Planet Fitness today by visiting planetfitness.com or visiting one of their local Metro Detroit locations. You can sign up today for $0 down, $10 a month, or upgrade to the Black Card membership for $22 a month, where you'll have access to all of their extracurricular activities, I should say, along with also being able to bring in a guest for free every time you come in. Your fitness is essential. Take your mental and physical health seriously this year. Ladies and gentlemen, Planet Fitness, give them some love. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you. We'll see you right after the break.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
What do you get when you mix fresh, juicy, hormone-free chicken with our savory signature sauces? The best damn wings you've ever had. Wing Snob Traditional Wings. Try our Jamaican jerk or lemon pepper. And we toss them to perfection. When your wings are this good, it's easy to be a snob. Order online at wingsnob.com today. Wing Snob. We just have better wings.
Putting on a show here, and that's how you answer. We love our sports. We just wish they'd love us back. Detroit sports for Detroit sports fans. Woodward Sports.
The sun is not out here today in Metro Detroit, but you can still get your tan on at Chili Peppers Tanning. That's where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D with spotless sanitized rooms and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club for all the best deals. They beat all their competitors' pricing by $5. Don't forget to pick up Australian Gold, Designer Skin, Caltan, and Swedish Beauty lotions. Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, and the darkest tans. Guys, Aaron Rodgers, no surprise there.
We knew this.
I mean, yeah.
We said this
We've
for
been
how
talking about this
long?
for a
Ever since
while.
this happened, we're like, he's in Green Bay. He's staying.
Look, what you guys need to understand about Aaron Rodgers is he's a narcissist, okay? He has all the characteristics of one, and I'm not trying to be mean about it. I'm saying it I'm calling it what it is. He is a very selfish guy. He likes to control the narrative. He likes to control what's being said about him, and that's just, okay, that's him. That's fine. I don't have an issue with that.
Right.
I can let other people be themselves. No problem. Hi to all the ladies walking behind me. Anyways.
Hit him with a deuce.
That was so random. Grandma's holding coffee. She did this.
They went to
the
the coffee shop. What do you want them to do?
Yeah. Like in the corner of my eye, all I see is them walking by doing this. What the hell are you doing?
First off, they don't even know we're here.
Yeah, they can. They can see through fish. It's sun out.
No, they can't see through.
Yes, they can, buddy.
No, I'm going to test.
They're close enough. They're not dry. What fish? Shut the hell up. Jesus Christ. Anyways.
Should I go get them? Maybe they have...
If you want to run after them, I'm okay with it. But
Well, it wouldn't be very hard.
look, Aaron Rodgers it's a good move for Green Bay. It's a good move for Aaron. I thought, honestly, it'd be a disaster. And it would be a shame that Brett Favre left Green Bay, and then the guy who took over for him also left Green Bay with years left where he could give to the team. I like seeing guys stick with their team and retire. Yeah. And with Aaron, I think he wants to avoid, more than anything, the Brett Favre situation.
That's where I was going
And I think that was a big part of it. And I'll let you continue on that. I'm glad he's back. Now, for the Lions, is that ideal? Probably not. We can get to that next. But right now, for Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, well done. Sounds like a cap-friendly deal. They're going to push all the money again. They're going to continue to push the money. I think they need to take care of Devontae Adams and find a way to pay him.
Mm-hmm.
They probably got to cut Randall Cobb and save, what, 8, 9, 10 million? Yeah, make tough decisions, Green Bay. Oh, by the way, your cap is in hell. You have to draft this year, and you have to sign those draft picks. So you're going to have to cut some players. So it's in the Packers' court now.
Yeah, 100%. I think even 2 weeks ago, I think, when the Denver Broncos, that news was still circulating. I mean, guys, the Broncos were negotiating Russell Wilson, I think it was about 2 weeks ago. So Aaron Rodgers was not ideal. They knew, I think, from a distance that what he was going to do. Everybody kind of knew that. We talked about it yesterday. It was kind of waiting on Devontae Adams, and they franchise tagged him. They brought back Aaron Rodgers, and you hit it right on the head. I think this was a factor of a lot of things. He kind of knew Green Bay was my best option, and not only that, I think he kind of was trying to avoid the narrative of Brett Favre. Now he gets to stay with Green Bay, the team that allowed him to take over for a similar situation with Brett Favre. So this is the most ideal situation for Aaron, guys. Like, we talk about the NFC right now and the position it's in. Like, this is Now, it's funny we're saying this because we said this last year as well. The Packers, I picked them to go all the way to the NFC Championship, and they lost to the 49ers. So, again, this year, Aaron Rodgers should be the favorite to go to the Super Bowl with that team, despite what you could say about, I mean, you have LA. They should be in the NFC Championship, both of those teams. No question about it. So him going back to Green Bay gives him a chance. But they're going to lose a lot of good players, and that's the problem. The Rams are going to bring back their roster for the most part. They're going to win the NFC North. That's the reality of it. I mean, who you think is second place is up to you guys, but they're the best team unquestionably in the NFC North. And for Aaron Rodgers, he's going to come back and win double-digit games, but that's not a question. That's what we know the Green Bay Packers to be. They're going to go, 12-5, 13-4, whatever it is, and then lose in the playoffs. So at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers, not surprised. I think it was the best deal for him in his career. Stay in Green Bay, man. Like, what are you going to do? Try to go to Denver and get a haul of picks? Obviously, Green Bay would rather value and keep Aaron Rodgers. They said it publicly. Matt LaFleur said, I'm not going to bother him no more. I want Aaron Rodgers back. So that's how they felt from the very start. As Lions fans, I didn't really look at it too much. I knew he would come back. You could sit here and say, please, Aaron, leave. Please, Aaron, leave. But the reality is the Lions should be focused on Aaron Rodgers. The goal should be to get better as a team and still contend for the division despite who's in it. I mean, they're, in my opinion, still second probably. I mean, you can argue Minnesota Vikings, but I would probably argue, again, the Lions for the second best team in the division, at least next year. They should win about 7 to 9 games. But the Packers, they're going to go back to what they're doing. They're going to have a great regular season despite losing a couple guys. And the playoffs, probably lose. So it doesn't change much for me. That's the point I'm getting at. Aaron Rodgers going back to Green Bay doesn't move the needle for me. Like, good for Aaron. He's going to win his division. He's probably going to, have the best record in the NFC. But again, what does that mean? You had it last year and you lost to the 49ers. So I guess by default, the 49ers own the NFC North because they beat the Packers every year and the Packers beat us every year. So I think it's interesting, but definitely the best move for Aaron. And looking forward, I could give a rat's ass. Like, the Packers will always be the same team we know them to be. Very good in the regular season, and when the Lions eventually want to make the playoffs or are making the playoffs, I don't know where the Packers will be. So I'm good with it, man. As a Lions fan, I wouldn't care less if he left or stayed. I think the reality of it, we all had to expect him to stay. That was the inevitable. He was going to do that. So
God, imagine he was traded to Pittsburgh.
Oof.
You know the amount of pressure that the Los Angeles Rams would be under?
Yes.
They would be forced to win 15 games next year, would be considered a disaster. And then they'd have to get to the Super Bowl. Like, there are two teams right now that I think are contending. It's Green Bay and Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Look, guys, you need to understand something about the salary cap, okay? The salary cap can be maneuvered. It can be toyed with. It can be finagled around as long as you want it to be. You don't believe me? Look at the Rams. Look at the Chiefs. How do the Chiefs afford to have edge rushers, a well-paid linebacker, the highest-paid tight end, one of the highest-paid receivers, the highest-paid quarterback? Well, not anymore, but still. You can finagle the cap. There are ways to, put in certain bonuses, incentives, push money down the line. Yes, the bill comes due eventually. But you think the Rams aren't happy about what they did? And that you don't think for a second that for the next 2 to 3 years, maybe even 4, they're not going to continue to push it down the line? And then when Stafford's ready to walk away, and Donald is ready to walk away, and Ramsey is ready to walk away, you don't think for 1 second, maybe just 1 minute, that then, okay, you know what, we'll go into rebuild mode, and we'll be out of it in 3 years. But we would have won 1 or 2 Super Bowls. Oh yeah, it's kind of worth it. What the Packers have done, and really the Patriots, is remarkable. They have been relevant and dominant for 30-plus years almost. Well, not 30, but 20-plus, 25-plus years, depends how far back you want to go with Favre, obviously. But that's the history. You can do it in the NFL. The cap is a tool that smart GMs take advantage of, that capable teams understand how to use. Let me put it to you this way. The Detroit Lions were not able to keep Ndamukong Suh after his rookie contract.
Mm-hmm.
The Detroit Lions were not able to keep Nick Fairley after his deal. A second-round pick, mind you. That That is the difference between competent GMs and GMs who have no idea what the hell they're doing, no idea how to plan for the future. And you guys look at the Rams and say, well, they don't have first-round picks. Good, they don't want them. They don't want to have to pay first-round picks. They rather have players from the 2nd to the 5th round that are going to contribute, that they can pay nothing, while they keep their Aaron Donalds, their Matthew Staffords, and they keep the core guys that are going to bring them success.
Right.
That's how the salary cap is used, and that's how it's done. Now, what does that mean for the Detroit Lions? Where are they going to finish next year? We can rank, teams going into next year, maybe a little preseason ranking if we want to. But what we're going to get into next is, will the Detroit Lions be able to contend during the time frame that Aaron Rodgers is still with the Green Bay Packers? That is the question we'll get to next. Maddie, before we go, what do we have?
We need to talk about the Fulling Warehouse.
Yes, well, although I hate Aaron Rodgers, he'd be a pretty damn good teammate at Fulling, because Fulling is the home of the original football bowling pin game called Fulling. You can host your corporate party, team building event, or you can just come in with family and friends. They have 2 ways to play, 2 very different ways. They have the $10 unlimited open play, or they have the private lane reservation for $120 for up to 10 people for 2 hours. They have over 100 different beers. They have also their $2 mystery beer machine and also multiple full bars. You bring the food or have it delivered in. Come get your full on. Check it out at fullingwarehouse.com.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adham Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Think you're a big shot?
Oh, excuse me, it goes down!
Think you can make the big shot?
Washington fires. Hits!
Woodward Sports wants to send you to the finals for college basketball April 2nd through the 4th in New Orleans. That's right, you and a friend in the Big Easy. We'll take care of the airfare, hotel, and tickets to see the finals for college basketball. Listen Monday through Friday to the Morning Woodward Show. Big D Energy. And the bottom line for your chance to qualify. If you can make the big shots, you and a friend are getting out of the cold and to New Orleans.
Got it!
Keep listening and watching for your next chance to win. Powered by Planet Fitness, Syntron, and the Sports Marketing Agency.
And it's over! Anything can happen in March!
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Also featured on The Roar on 99.1, 93.5, and 94.7 HD2. With Aaron Rodgers staying in Green Bay, should Detroit be scared?
Well, I think scared. It's hard to kind of. I would say this: they should be a little wary of Aaron Rodgers. Of course, he's going to win a lot of games in the regular season. So to have a guy like that back in your division, of course, it brings you that feeling of damn it. But the reality is, they should be focused on what the Packers are doing. That's what I've been always saying. The Lions need to worry about what they're building and how they can beat the Packers. Not about what Aaron does is basing off the Lions' success. I think that's a ridiculous way to think and a ridiculous way to even try and build a football team. If you're constantly worried about another team in your division, they're going to be just fine. If you have the right guy in place in Brad Holmes, or you're still trying to figure out Dan Campbell, and so far everyone likes him. I have confidence they will build a team to be able to contend with the Packers and maybe even beat them. Now, is it this year with Aaron Rodgers? It's going to be close because you guys, no one can deny the Green Bay Packers with Aaron Rodgers, at least the last 3 years with Matt LaFleur, have been the kings of the regular season. They've won 13 games every season, and say what you want about their playoffs and how their outcome is. It doesn't concern the Lions. Lions haven't made the playoffs. So what they do in the playoffs and Aaron choking, he doesn't choke in the regular season. He's beaten the Lions pretty consistently. I know we beat him last year at the end of the season, but he didn't play. Jordan Love was out there. So, again, guys, we have to understand he is a problem in the NFC North. That's the reality of it. But the Lions can't lose themselves worrying about Aaron Rodgers. They're going to be just fine. You have Jared Goff. You can beat Green Bay with Jared Goff. There's a lot of other issues they need to solve on that football team. A lot of holes. Hopefully they fill some of those holes with the draft this year, but big picture, Adam, they should not be worried about Aaron Rodgers. Regular season, I think it's a reality. You have to at least be concerned, but worry about yourselves. Build a roster that can contend for your division.
Yeah, I definitely like that perspective. I think that's the better way to go about it. Don't worry so much about what's going on around you. Control what you can control. Build a team that can contend and can compete over the years to come. Don't worry so much about Aaron Rodgers and the Packers because they're not worrying so much about you either, right? Jeff, I really like this comment. I want to know what you think of it.
Mm-hmm.
The boss has got to Adham about saying he's going to blow his brains out. And now he's changed it into jumping off a bridge. Hopefully, lesson learned.
It's like a little lighthearted. You know, you're not blowing your brains out, but you're jumping. So it's.
I want to know who the bosses are, and two, what's the problem with me saying I'm going to blow my brains out?
That would be you.
I will blow my brains out. I will put a 9. Guys, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to the house, get the 9mm, point it towards my head. If the Lions select Jordan Davis, number 2 overall. That is the new I will kill myself strategy. That's just the truth. What do I have to live for if the Lions keep doing this, huh? I've only had to suffer for 28 years.
Your
there are people that have dealt with
that
this
you
for
keep talking
58.
about.
Like, I don't know how they're coming off strong. But Jesus Christ, I don't know. Also, you have to understand, I can say whatever the hell I want. Right, Jeff?
You can.
Am I allowed to say whatever I want? I'm pretty sure I am.
Yeah.
Well,
You
if
got the
somebody tells
microphone.
you not to, it's just a suggestion.
Yeah, but who?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
anybody that says anything to you is just a suggestion.
No one can tell me jack crap.
Well, until you get canceled off the radio.
I hope people cancel me. Try. Try me, bitch. Try to cancel me. Can't cancel crap. Kiss my ass. How about that? Cancel that. Cancel me and my ass.
At least it's kissing now.
Oh, whatever. I'm trying to be polite. I'm doing a horrible job at it. Oh, man. Will the Lions be able to contend with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay? I'm going to say this year, no. Next year, this upcoming season, no. The third season of Dan Campbell, I truly believe that Brad Holmes is going to have this team shaped up with a really talented roster. And I think by year 3, you're going to have a quarterback that could be on the verge of maybe starting that you selected. A quarterback that you select in the 2023 draft that may sit a year while Jared Goff goes away into the sunset. Similar to Alex Smith and the Patrick Mahomes situation. I think that is your ideal timetable. I believe that is your ideal timeline. That's when the Lions, I think, can become exceptional. But next year, I think 7-9 wins is very realistic.
Absolutely.
Now, is that second in the division? To be honest, I know you brought that up a little earlier. It could be second. I'm going to say no to that because I truly believe the Vikings this year are going to be able to contend with the Green Bay Packers. And don't be surprised if Green Bay is a 5 or 6 seed this year. And they win 10 games, and the division winner is the Minnesota Vikings. That's going to be my early prediction so far. I think the Vikings come out strong, win the division, but it's the Packers who make a deeper run next postseason, and it's because they're not playing in Lambeau. That's going to be my theory going into next year.
My question about the Vikings, and I actually like them offensively, will they be able to fix last year's defensively?
We're going to find out in the draft,
There
right?
you go.
And they're going to be able to
thing.
maybe take a Sauce Gardner at 12. Depends if
True.
he falls, right?
True.
Even if they don't, they can get a Jordan Davis at 12, right? They're going to be able to take maybe a Devin Lloyd. They're for sure going to have Nakobe Dean available at 12, right? I mean, they're going to have an option to address something on defense. Likely a secondary player, an edge rusher doesn't hurt. They're going to have options. The Purdue kid could fall. They could take a Trayvon Walker, a player you like. Minnesota's going to have options at 12. I think they're going to go defense.
And the funny thing about Minnesota, I think out of all the NFL teams, I think they had the most one-score wins or losses. So, again, that season last year could have went very differently. So, Minnesota's a talented team. So, it's not just Green Bay you guys have to be worried about. I think the only team you should be looking eye to eye at or looking down at is Chicago. You're looking down at Chicago because they're probably in an earlier process of their rebuild. But, I mean, it's not just Green Bay, guys. It's also Minnesota. You still got to wait and see about Kevin O'Connell. But still, I think the talent, they have more talent right now on offense, of course. But the Lions are building something. And the point of what we're trying to make is you trust who you have in place to make those decisions. Can Brad Holmes build a pass rush to get after Aaron Rodgers, get after Kirk Cousins? I think so. And I think Jared Goff's good enough to win games in this division. I don't know if he's going to go head-to-head with Aaron Rodgers, especially in the playoffs. But listen, that's a different conversation. Right now, should they be worried? Why would they? I mean, they're always a threat, the Packers. But again, can't be obsessed with the Packers. You have to build your team. Win divisions. At least try to win divisions. you can't be focused solely on what Aaron Rodgers is doing. That's kind of the main thing we're hammering down on. You can't build a team like that.
Absolutely can't. And it's, again, the NFC North is going to be you're going to have a lot of question marks. 2 new head coaches, right? Kevin O'Connell and Eberfluss in Chicago. You have 2 new GMs, both in Chicago and in Green Bay. Or, excuse me, Chicago and Minnesota.
Yep.
I really do believe, and Mr. Sammy, I will tell you why I believe they can at least contend or win the division. Kirk Cousins last year had his best year ever. 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. The defense was absolutely horrendous. If the Vikings can be a middle-of-the-pack defense, I truly believe this is an 11-win football team. And I think 11 wins next year is going to be enough to win the division, because do I expect Green Bay to win 13 games again for the 4th straight year? That's a tough one for me. Could they be 12-5? 11-6 is realistic. I expect the Lions to be a lot better and split with Green Bay. I expect Green Bay really to go 4-2 in the division. I don't expect them to run it. I expect them to split with the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions, and I expect them to sweep the Bears. And the Packers have a very difficult schedule next year. That's also something you have to keep in mind. So watch out for the Packers next year. Maybe not winning all the games you expect them to win, but they will be dangerous come playoff time. I truly believe 9 to 11 wins is the benchmark for the Minnesota Vikings year 1 with Kevin O'Connell. I think they're going to be more creative on offense with a healthy Dalvin Cook. Maybe they can address the O-line in the 2nd or 3rd round. They're going to be able to address the defense rounds 1 through 4 pretty easily. One of those picks can be an offensive lineman, and you have Adam Thielen, you have Justin Jefferson, you have a decent tight end, you have Dalvin Cook, you have Kirk Cousins, who's a capable quarterback. He's not the best quarterback, but he's capable.
As long as he lines up in the right position.
Look, with good coaching, Ryan Tannehill got the number 1 seed last year with Tennessee. Good coaching, a good defense takes you a long way with an average quarterback, okay? And Kirk Cousins is average, but you can win 10, 11, 12 games with him. That, I promise you. And that's going to be my expectation, Jeff, for Minnesota. Am I too far off?
No. I think 9 wins is doable with that team. They're a talented team. I mean, they got to get a couple things right defensively. And I know people had a problem with Mike Zimmer, so you're bringing in an offensive-minded head coach. Now, their problems weren't on offense. Their problems were on defense. But still, too much talent not to be number 2 in the division. I think you can maybe argue Detroit, but you might lose that argument. Just right now, we have to kind of see this team out there and who they get in the draft. I think early, it's
the Lions did re-sign Josh Reynolds yesterday. Yes. So we have a few minutes. Let's quickly touch on that. What do you make of the move? How does it impact not only free agency, but the draft?
I like it. Definitely a depth move. 2 years, $12 million, up to $12 million, so I'm sure there's incentives involved. But this tells me something interesting. It tells me that Jared Goff, he's not getting traded this year. He'll be here. They signed Josh Reynolds for a lot of reasons, but one of the big reasons was he came to Detroit. And the rapport he had with Jared Goff previously on the Rams kind of carried over to the Lions. He played really well down the stretch when we signed Josh Reynolds. And re-signing him, I love it, man. You need depth at the wide receiver position, and you need a guy that is familiar with the quarterback. And Josh Reynolds, out of all these wide receivers, has the most experience with Jared Goff. And I think Jared Goff is going to be here for the next year. I mean, or maybe 2. You don't know. He could be here for longer. But as of right now, the opinion doesn't change on Jared Goff. He's still a bridge quarterback. But signing Josh Reynolds tells me they're trying to accommodate their quarterback, and I like it. I like it. You needed to sign him. I think the contract was friendly. I know I was talking with Easy about it yesterday, and some people were talking about 2 years, $12 million. I think it's great. Up to $12 million, so incentives involved. I'll take it, Adam. I got no issue with it. It's definitely
I think it's a great deal. I think it's a great cap number.
Yeah.
I don't think it affects the team much. I am hoping this is a sign that Allen Robinson is not a solution.
No.
Given what I think he'll be asking for. On top of that, it probably solidifies they're taking a wide receiver at 32, 34, 66, somewhere between there.
Yeah.
They're going to be taking a chance on a wide receiver, and I'm all for it. I think it's a great move for the Lions, and I think Jared Goff is going to be a part of this team for the next 2 years, not only the next year. He is part of this build. I truly believe, with Brad Holmes and Dorsey in the building, they're taking the approach, let's ride Jared Goff as long as possible, unless he is so bad.
Yes.
We don't have a choice but to go get a quarterback. Let's ride him for as long as we can, build a very talented football team, and when the time is right, like they did in Kansas City, go out and try to find your Patrick Mahomes. That That is what I believe the Detroit Lions are doing, and I'm all on board for it.
Yes.
That's why I think Malik Willis this year at number 2 is a joke. It's a facade. It's BS. It's absolute BS. They're hopefully just trying to trade back. But, Maddie, I'm out of breath. I'm struggling here. We got to go to break. When we get back, Calvin Ridley suspended for all of next year.
I want to get your take on this.
And when you find out why, and I'm sure you probably already know, you're going to probably have the same reaction I'm about to have.
Oh, I
Not
can't
a
wait
good
to I can't wait to see what other reactions you have to give us today.
Yeah, I've been on one today. I apologize.
But before we go to break, we do need to hear about our friends at the Sports Marketing Agency.
Well, guys, yes, our friends at SMA, leveraging pro athletes and other notables for over a decade against the issues around mental health and substance abuse disorder. With the help of NFL alumni Sean Jordan, has been taking a stand against these issues, and that's why soon coming to Woodward Sports, F is for Fentanyl. It's a new podcast coming out, and make sure if you do go to the Sports Marketing Agency, please tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on Woodward Sports Network. Calvin Ridley suspended all of next year. Who wants to tell us what it's for?
Listen, well, Calvin Ridley. This is
he's not an idiot. Shut the hell up. He's an American hero.
And this is why it's so ironic, because I had Calvin Ridley in fantasy. All right, and I had him. I traded him, or excuse me, I traded for him. I traded Keenan Allen. Please don't make fun of me. Traded Keenan Allen for Calvin Ridley, a 1-for-1 with our guy Justin here at Woodward Sports. I got Calvin Ridley and didn't. Oh yes, you guys did share a team. Got Calvin Ridley, didn't play the whole season. So I felt some type of way about it. He had mental health issues, but little did we know, while he was out with mental health issues, made a couple parlays. And he had a parlay, I think it was for like $1,500. He tweeted and admitted it. And it was for the Falcons to win. And that was his first mistake. Why are you betting on the Falcons to win? But that's a different story. If you bet on them to lose, I think it makes it look worse. But anyway, he made a mistake. I mean, the NFL is clearly trying to make an example out of him. He's got a year suspension. I know he was away from football, but you can't do this. And that's why I want to hear your opinion, Adam, because you're a betting man. You get this. And the NFL has been so clear. You can bet on anything but the NFL. And Calvin Ridley wanted to cook up a parlay. So what do you think about it?
You know, we have American heroes who aren't appreciated enough. People like Pete Rose, Calvin Ridley. What a tragedy. Okay, to be fair, I agree with NFL players not being able to bet on NFL games. Specifically, the games that their teams are involved. Why? They have inside information. They know the game plan for the week. They know that the team may be conservative, so maybe they'll take the under in the points. Maybe they know that Carolina is a bad matchup for Atlanta, and they'll take Atlanta. Like, I agree with the idea and the concept that, hey, you should not be betting on games, whether you're playing injured or not. Having said that, you can't have this double standard. Can't have it both ways. Are they not allowed to be humans off the field? And is it true that they can bet on everything except the NFL? I don't find that to be a horrible rule. What I do find to be a horrible rule is he's suspended for all of next year. Considering that there are people, and you know who I'm talking about, I'm not even going to bring up their names because they don't even deserve it. Mm-hmm. But there are people with extreme domestic violence issues.
That's what a lot of people are angry
extreme
about.
Drug abuse issues. Extreme detriment to the NFL's image issues. People that have killed other people that aren't suspended for maybe, 3, 4, 5 games? If you're lucky, you get more than that. We've suspended a guy who, while injured, while rehabbing, or excuse me, I should say
Mental
while
health.
recovering, whatever, he wasn't with the team at the time. We're going to suspend him for all of next year without pay because he bet on a game he wasn't involved in.
To be fair, did you guys see his username? Kind of gave it away.
I don't care, Fish.
Calvin Ridley from the Falcons. How stupid can you be to put your username as
Fish.
that?
I don't mind.
That actually makes it so much
Look,
better.
I don't mind it being a rule that, hey, Calvin or any NFL player, you can't do that. Okay, slap on the wrist. We're going to fine you $150,000. That is not okay. The next time you bet on a game, you're going to be suspended 3 games. And you do it again, it's going to be 9 games. And then you do it one more time, we're going to suspend you for a season. That I'm okay with. But look at this no tolerance policy on betting on NFL games. Where the hell is that for domestic violence issues?
Yeah.
Where the hell is that for killing people? Where the hell is that for anything else you can do? Oh, drinking and driving, right? That's okay. Oh, you got a DUI? Oh, we'll suspend you. Conduct a detriment to the team and the league. 3 games, 4 games. Oh, you bet on a game that you weren't playing in? Great, you're done for the year.
I mean,
way to go, NFL.
They can't really change the past, though.
Fish.
It's stupid.
You know
but they
how you
can't.
change the past? By learning from it and implementing rules that acknowledge, all right, you know what? Maybe we made a mistake with Ray Rice. Here's our new policy. Maybe we made a mistake with Greg Hardy. Here's our new policy. There's none of that. Calvin Ridley suspended for a year for doing what? Betting?
Well, yeah,
Sports betting?
They're basically
$1,500?
Yeah.
Costing them.
They're basically telling you that you can't gamble.
That's fine.
But they need to put
Fine
that
him.
towards other stuff
Fine
too.
him.
Yeah, Fish.
Communicate it. Send out a memo to the entire league, to every player.
Yeah.
Anybody who is caught betting on NFL games. Here is the breakdown. The first time you do it, you'll get a fine and an automatic suspension. 1 game. You lose your game check, which is a lot of money on top of the fine you're getting. Number 2, you do it again. You're going to be suspended for 3, 4 games, let's say.
Sure.
That's a lot of game checks, guys. It's a lot of money. You do it a 3rd time, you're going to be suspended for half, if not the full season. Where is that?
Right.
Where is we need to get this guy help? Why are you? Oh, it's only $1,500. All right, Calvin, I understand. This is a joke. Suspended for the whole season.
$11 million.
And there's people that kill people. There's people that have domestic violence issues. Do I have to bring this up? Drug abuse issues?
Yeah.
Drinking and driving issues? You don't say a word about that. They don't get suspended. And if they do, it's a slap on the wrist. You're gonna cost Calvin Ridley $15 million for a $1,500 bet, huh? That doesn't seem right to me.
I won't say he's really taking it seriously, though.
You know what? I don't know why he should.
Yeah, he's put like
It's quite
slew
pathetic.
of tweets out there.
Look, I understand the NFL when you're brought into the league. They go over all the rules with you. I
They
totally
know
get
better.
that.
Yeah.
Again, Calvin Ridley should know the rules. I'm okay with that. Fine. Do you not see the double standard here?
I do.
Oh, for
There
sure.
is a huge difference in punishment for a crime that's kind of a gray area and a crime that is a federal, if not, I mean, it's beyond a crime.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
And the problem I have, and I'll take it a step further, maybe this is a reach, but the double standard, not even among players to players, but players to ownership. Like, there's I feel like
Oh, yeah, Mr. I'm paying my team, I'm paying my head coach to
Yes.
lose football games.
Thank you.
Mr. I'm getting a massage at a whatever you call it, at a parlor.
And you know what's funny? Both those guys have a stake in DraftKings. So, like, these guys are all around betting. And I
Isn't
get
that
it.
funny, right?
It's ironic. It really is. Like, and we could talk about all day players and they should know better and this and that. But
Tom Sloan just put it perfectly.
How do you say it?
This is a slippery slope, Adam and Jeff. These leagues are in bed with the gambling sites. It's very hypocritical for the NFL to suspend him for a whole season. Tom, you couldn't have said it any better. Jeff?
That's a great point, Tom. I think, and I actually absolutely agree with you. I think with Calvin Ridley, a year, it's too much. And I think that's what kind of makes it more clear to me. He's an example, and it's sad that he has to be the example because what he did, and I get it. I could argue, get him a slap on the wrist, and maybe the NFL disagrees with that. They want to suspend him for a year. They don't want any of these situations coming up further. But again, to your point, there's domestic violence incidents that you suspend these guys for, 5, 6 games, whatever it is, and they keep reoccurring. So if you're trying to make an example out of Calvin Ridley, make an effing example out of guys who, hit women, drunk driving, whatever it is. I mean, it goes on and on the list. But the problem I have is for what Ridley did, I don't think he bet $1,500 for the Falcons to win.
Care.
And he's lost $11 million.
Well, look at the precedent you're sending. It's that severe, huh? That's why your owners have stake in the company, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, Dan Snyder still owns the Washington Commanders. And that dude has about 100 sexual assault allegations lined up right now.
Yes.
NFL, come on, you're better than this. Roger Goodell, I know you work for the owners. I know these are billionaires. I totally understand. I know life isn't fair sometimes. A whole goddamn year suspension for betting $1,500 on the Falcons to win.
To win!
Pete Rose is in the Hall of Fame. Why? Because he bet on his team to win.
Yeah.
It's not like he was throwing games. He was betting on himself to win.
Okay, so you do realize what betting on yourself to win could mean.
You know what needs to happen?
Okay,
you know what
thanks
needs
for
to
interrupting
happen?
me, ding dong.
There needs to be somebody who has the balls to start a company that facilitates bets for athletes, where athletes are allowed to bet on themselves, not as props, but individual games. They're allowed to bet on strictly money line, let's say. I'm going to bet on my team to win. I would like to put $50,000 on this week, us winning. There has to be somebody to facilitate it.
Because you're losing.
In a world where everybody is betting, I mean, come on. You can't be making money off of it and then suspending your players who are making you that money. Where all those people are betting on that player to get over 5.5 receptions a game, get over 72.5 yards a game. Kick rocks. So hypocritical. Unbelievable. You're creating red herrings. Players gambling leads to point shaving and fixing games. That is corruption. You now have a game not worth watching. I don't think you're understanding the point.
Yeah, I think it's
in the
wrong.
context of Calvin Ridley, again, I think it's fair for a league to say you are not allowed to bet while you're an active player.
Yes.
I think that is totally fair given the information they have available to them. I think that is totally fair. To suspend him for an entire season is egregious.
Yes.
It's too much. Considering their policy on specific owners getting jerked off in a massage parlor, certain owners getting, sexual assault allegations, certain owners paying their coaches to lose games on purpose. Doesn't that mess with all of the gambling?
No.
Oh, it doesn't? Cleveland losing all those games back with Hugh Jackson, allegedly? What about Brian Flores? Oh, wait, well, not a word, right?
But those can't...
No suspensions.
But those can't...
So hypocritical.
Be proven. I know. It's
so
ridiculous.
hypocritical.
It is. That's the biggest point. And not about what he did, because I have an issue with it. You can't bet.
If you can't bet, you can't bet, Calvin.
Yes.
You're an idiot.
You
Sorry,
knew
buddy.
You knew the rules.
I can't help you.
Right.
But suspended for a year is way too much.
Yeah.
It sends the wrong message. I have 2 owners right now that have sexual assault history. I have another one potentially encouraging his team to lose games, which affects the ticket holders, which affects me as a bettor, betting on those games that they're involved in that I'm not aware of.
Screwing everybody.
Oh, but it's not okay for the players. Kiss my ass. Kiss my ass. We got to go to break, Maddie. These goddamn owners are stupid. Robert Kraft getting blowjobs and quickies and hand jobs at a massage parlor. Nobody says a goddamn word. Whatever. What a stupid ass country we live in right now.
Oh, look at that. How the world changes.
What?
I have no idea what's happening.
I don't know.
It's
Fish
okay.
is pro Australia right now.
We're just
Excuse me.
gonna go to break and pretend like this didn't happen.
All right. Let's go to break. When we get back, the Red Wings got murdered last night by the Arizona Coyotes. I mean, it was pretty bad.
Disgusting.
Looks like Steve Yzerman is firing somebody. or trading them. Depends how you took it. We'll get to that right after. But Maddie, what do we got?
Yes, before we go, we do need to hear about Lady Jane's.
Yes, guys. Well, Lady Jane's, if you do need a haircut, and as you guys know, we broadcast this show live from the headquarters of Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Birmingham, and it is definitely awesome to get off the air and get myself looking great by one of their talented stylists. That's why I recommend you to get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men near you and let them know treat you like a king too. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, relax, watch your favorite team play. I'm looking right at the TVs right now. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime because it is wicked awesome.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Don't forget, Woodward Sports is sending you to New Orleans to see the college basketball finals. We are going to qualify somebody today. You have to listen Monday through Friday to the Morning Woodward Show, afternoons with Big D Energy, and drive time with the Bottom Line if you want more ways to qualify. Today's qualifier, whoever says fish in the chat first is going to be the qualifier for today on the morning show. So hope to see you guys post in the chat, and it looks like we will find who our winner is here shortly. You'll be in the contestants to go to see the finals in New Orleans. All right, guys, we have to talk about the murder in Detroit.
I mean, do we have to?
No.
God, the Wings.
Oh, it was Tammy!
Did you know over the last 6 games, the Red Wings...
Congratulations, Tammy.
Tammy, speaking actually, what a great transition. Because Tammy,
right?
If anybody knows the Wings, it's you, Tammy. And this is what I want to get out. The Red Wings, over this 6-game stretch, they lost 5 of the last 6. You know how many goals they've given up? 37 goals.
Yeah, that's a lot.
A lot of goals, Fish. Goaltending has not been, ideal. Nedeljkovic, Grice, both of them. But it was nice to see Vrana come back last night, get a goal. It wasn't nice to see them lose that bad. Give up 9 games to a team who's 17-35. The Arizona Coyotes. That was a game that I thought, at least, at home. I mean, they give it up 3 goals in the first period, 4 goals in the second period, and 3 goals in the third period. I mean, it was rough last night. That's kind of the bottom line. I mean, it was nice to see Vrana come back. They cut Danny DeKeyser, but at the end of the day, man, defensively, they still have issues.
On his birthday, mind you.
Detroit's been cutting a lot of athletes on their birthday. Josh Jackson got cut on his birthday.
Just make sure you don't say your birthday.
Got cut on his birthday. It's just, I don't know. But anyway, as a Red Wings fan, it's been tough to watch this stretch, but I think they've given us enough positive things I don't want to say they're allowed to have this stretch, but it doesn't stress me out as much. This team, it doesn't change my outlook on them. They still struggle defensively, and offensively, they got to fix a couple things. But again, nice to see Vrana come back. You got to look at the little things, the little successes I saw, and that was, the return of Vrana and what this team is going to be moving forward. But defensively, Adam, they've had issues, and they still have them. I mean, 37 goals in 6 games is not ideal. It's not.
They're giving up over 6 goals a game right now.
It's crazy.
What the hell is that? Why? Why? Everything was going so well. But I'm not going to overreact, to be honest. I'm being dramatic right now.
Yeah.
I'm not worried at all. Look, they'll turn it around. They'll figure it out. The goaltending situation, is it frustrating? Absolutely. Is the defense frustrating? Absolutely. But you brought up positive. Jakub Vrana, first game back, goal. My man. Love him. Love him. Think he's a fantastic player. Excited to see his future here in Detroit. For the Wings now, it's really about just getting through the end of the season. Sider continuing to perform, Raymond continuing to perform, Jakub Vrana really maybe get on a hot streak. Maybe something you want to see him really put together 8-12 goals down the stretch. That would be fantastic. But at the end of the day, Steve Yzerman is in charge.
He is.
And Steve Yzerman is going to make the best decision for the Detroit Red Wings, and I have zero concern at the head coaching position, at the goaltending position. Whatever Steve Yzerman says or does, will be the best move for the Detroit Red Wings and will put them in pole position to contend in the next few years. Jeff?
And I want to ask you this question. I know you mentioned it because I agree with you. I trust Yzerman to make the right decision. But the problem I have, and I know people mentioned it, shout out to Vinny and Epic. You guys done a great job mentioning it because honestly, it's a great point. For the Red Wings, you brought in Jeff Blashill, all right, years ago. He's a defensive specialist, of course, a guy that, you kind of see as a guy that might get the rings to a specific point and might not be the coach to get them to a Stanley Cup. What is going on with putting Ned in, pulling Ned, putting Grice in, and then pulling Grice and putting Ned back in? I think that's like the third game. I don't think they can figure it out at all in terms of goaltending. And I know they mentioned it during the timeout. None of the players were looking at Jeff Blashill during the timeout. Like, what the hell is going on? What is your take? I mean, I know it hasn't really changed on Blashill, Adam, but are you leaning any sort of way on him, or are you just kind of in the ballpark of whatever Yzerman does?
I'm not worried. I'm not worried because I know what Steve Yzerman will do.
Yes. Okay, good.
When the time is correct, he will move on from Blashill. And when the time comes, he will not only move on from Blashill, he will bring in the guy that's going to help take this team from a 7, 8 seed to a 3, 4, maybe even a 1 or 2. Who knows? That could be 3, 4 years from now. I'm not worried about Jeff Blashill. As long as the players continue to develop, I'm willing to deal with him. Once the team starts to play maybe extremely bad hockey where they're not producing on offense, they're not putting together any really consistent minutes, well, all right, now we have a problem.
Right.
All right, now I'm not worried about Jeff. Look, they're giving up over 6 goals a game. The Blashill thing is fine. They want to get rid of him this year or next year. I don't care. Whenever Yzerman does or says it's time, it's time.
Right.
He knows his team better than anybody. He knows the roster that's coming up from the minors, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have 2, 3 players that are going to be joining this team next year. You're going to have an offseason to acquire talent. You're going to have the draft. Watch out. Watch out. And may I remind you, Mo Sider, when he was selected where he was, I believe number 2 overall, correct?
Thought he was crazy. Or too high
He
drafted.
was the number 29 prospect in that draft. Don't worry about Steve. He's got it locked up, fellas. Steve Yzerman's got it locked up. I'm not even worried. He's going to take care of everything. It's the least of my concerns, Maddie, with the Jeff Blashill situation. But I do want to ask you guys, now to reverse the question, what's the timeline look like for you, in your opinion, with Jeff Blashill?
Well, I'll start first quickly because I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I don't really have a timeline because we know inevitably Jeff Blashill won't be the head coach when this team is consistently winning games. So that's kind of where I stand. Wherever Yzerman decides they're ready to contend, you have the pieces. Sebastian Cossa comes up. You're getting these guys from the minor leagues coming up and joining the Red Wings. He'll know. So I mean, Blashill that's why I kind of put him and Dwayne Casey in the same category. 2 guys that good right now. Don't know if they're the guys to get you to the motherland, and that's kind of where I stand on it with Jeff Blashill.
Yeah, and I'm also on the same no timeline type thing because the Red Wings are a team that I don't worry about because they're in the hands of Yzerman. I trust him and his decisions so much that I don't think that he will even hesitate when he finds the right person for the Red Wings to be the head coach. And I think that's kind of where they're at, where they're not doing terribly under Blashill, so why would they make a change?
Mm-hmm.
But right now, I also don't think that there's another head coach that Yzerman thinks should be taking over right now. So I think that when the time comes or when he finds that right person, that he'll make the change no problem. He's not scared to make decisions like that. But yeah, I think there's no timeline really. Like he's doing fine, and the players are still developing. They're doing great. They got players that are coming under them that are really proving themselves, which is awesome. But it's one of those things where I don't think we'll even know when the next head coach is coming through.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel as well. What about you, Adam? I know we answered the question. We don't really see a timeline. I mean, with Jeff Blashill, it's kind of whenever this roster is talented enough to take the next step. That's kind of when I see him.
I say 16 months is the longest he'll last from today. 16 months is my bet.
And that's probably an ideal timetable for this team.
But knowing Yzerman, he's not going to want to do it mid-season.
Right.
Which is why I say 16. I think it's going to happen after the end of next season. Sebastian Cossa could be ready. Probably not. Probably not. Maybe a little too young, but who knows? It's going to be at the end of next year. That's my bet. We got to go to break, Maddie. When we get back, my favorite time of the show, Mailbag. Get your questions in the chat, Jeff. Let them know what to do. And we'll get to answering all of your questions once we get back from the break. But, Maddie, what do we got?
We need to hear about our friends at Cintron.
Yes, guys. Well, Cintron, I know this morning A lot of people get tired in the mornings. I get it. But you know what helps me get through my morning? Cintron. And Cintron is an aspirational lifestyle beverage brand with a line of sparkling flavored energy beverages, premium bottled water, and revitalizer shots. Cintron is the official energy drink of Detroit's own Red Wings and proud partners with the Detroit Pistons and exclusively served at Little Caesars Arena. If you're looking for premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, and great taste, Cintron is your top choice. So go buy online at cintronworld.com. Use the promo code RedWings10. Save 10% with shipping included. Drink it, live it with Cintron.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Comerica Park, sunshine, the crack of the bat. More sunshine, warmth. We're almost there, Detroit. Summer 2022 will be the summer of Woodward sports. We just gotta make it through this damn cold first.
Listen, guys. Wing snob. All right? If you guys are... I know it's early, but wings, you can never be too early for wings. I know I'm Italian, but I still love wings. Fresh,
3
juicy,
p.m.
hormone,
somewhere.
Free chicken. Exactly. There's always somewhere you can get
somewhere
wings.
too.
Yes, Wing Snob has the best traditional wings. So that's why you need to try out their signature sauces, Jamaican jerk or lemon pepper. Their wings are tossed to perfection in any sauce you so choose. When the wings are this good, you're allowed to be a snob. So order online now at wingsnob.com. Wing Snob, we just have better wings. All right, let's get to this mailbag. Because you guys need to drop the questions, because whatever it is.
First question, let's see. We're going to take first question. What free agent from Arstone? What free agent would you like to see the Lions sign this year?
That's tough.
Or any, doesn't matter on position.
Honestly, from the top of my head, I know the guys that people are expecting me to say. I'm going to say no. All right, no Allen Robinson, no Marcus Williams. They don't have the money to spend big money this year. So, in my opinion, the money that's going anywhere is going to be for depth. Maybe to re-sign a Charles Harris or whatever it is. It's not going to be to sign, an Allen Robinson. Any of these big name splashes, it's just too early in this process. So, I'm not really going to get on too much of who they should sign. It's probably just filling up some holes. That's really all they're going to be doing.
Okay, I'm okay with that. Next question. Do you think the MLB will get a deal done today, or do you think they will cancel more games? I'm going to bet my money on they cancel more games because it's the MLB. They don't know how to get anything done. They're unproductive human beings. They don't care about their own sport. If they did, we wouldn't be in this situation. If they cared, they would have met 3 months ago, not in the last few weeks only.
And Chuck just asked mailbag question. What would it take for Cade Cunningham to get national media to give him some attention?
Pistons need to win basketball games.
Yes, because guys, let's look at the reality. Ja Morant plays in Memphis, Tennessee, and he's on SportsCenter all the damn time. So I get it. He's a high flyer. He has better highlights. But the reality is, you have to win MVP as well.
He is an MVP candidate right now.
He is an MVP.
No, he's the MVP.
But I'm just saying, for context, if you have that guy, no matter the market, you can still get on social media. I know Detroit gets disrespected because Cade, although he is balling among rookies, you don't really see him on too many highlight pages except for Detroit's own. So I think to get national media, they got to win some games.
Why don't you help him out?
And they got to help him out. And they're winning games lately, so put some respect on his name. Moving on. Jabril Pepper to the Lions? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't know exactly what he's going to be asking for. That's kind of the number one thing. Off the top of my head, for what I think he'll be asking for, I would say no, but if it's ideal, then go ahead. That's fine.
Should the Lions go after Braxton Berrios in free agency? No.
This is the conversation we're having.
Well, no, I mean, look, I think he's a decent player to have, a fourth option at wide receiver, maybe even a third on a really good team, but
I like our three, and we're going to draft a fourth.
You're going to draft a wide receiver, so at least I expect you to draft a wide receiver. If they don't, I would be genuinely surprised. I think you're trying to load up Jared Goff with as many weapons as possible. Go out, take a chance on a wide receiver. You'll have the rookie. You'll have T.J. Hawkinson, a solid run game, a very good offensive line, Amon-Ra St. Brown, hopefully a healthy Quintez Cephas. Future's bright for Detroit. And then go all in on the defense. That's what I expect. MLB sounds like ground is being made, but I am not optimistic. Matt, I am with you. I don't care what they say until it's done. I am not taking any of it seriously. Where do you guys think the Lions will go for a backup quarterback? Do they go out in free agency or stay in-house?
It's a good one. Honestly, it depends what happens in the draft. I know people talk about late-round quarterbacks, and that's always an option, but I think ultimately it will be free agency. I think that's where they're going to aim. I know Tim Boyle maybe wasn't what people expected him to be, but there'll be another guy in free agency. You can always find a decent backup quarterback.
Look, if you're struggling at backup, honestly, like I could back up Jared Goff.
I mean,
honestly, at this point, you don't have to pay me much. Hell, I'll do it for free. No salary cap. You can pay me $1 for the whole year.
What about this one from Pistons fan question? Assuming the rumor the Lions will spend some money on a free agent wide receiver, would you prefer one of the free agents or moving a pick for Tyler Lockett? You could take this one.
Neither.
That's why I love you.
Yeah,
I would do either.
I'm not a fan of Amari Cooper if he is released.
And this is the thing I want to address right now, because someone else said they literally said they're going to fork out some cash for a good wide receiver. What good wide receiver are they forking out cash for?
Look, I understand there are reports suggesting that, and I respect it.
I like it.
It probably is a conversation, I'm sure. I don't believe that is the correct move moving forward.
And who is it? Allen Robinson?
Okay, even if it is Allen Robinson, and he is such a good player, and I love that he has the Detroit ties. At what price? At what price?
Probably 4 for $60, I would say. Deservingly so. I mean, that's what he's going to demand. So,
and he's 28, 27 years old.
It's the last contract before.
I don't mind it.
Yeah.
But I have to keep in mind, you still need to restructure Jared Goff's contract to sign the rookies from this year's class. Keep in mind, you are signing 2 first-round picks, a second-round pick, a third round, 2 fourths. You're going to have to fork up some money. You have to restructure Goff. You'll likely cut Trey Flowers. Come on, guys. Let's be a little bit realistic here. If it's a really team-friendly deal, which I don't expect Allen Robinson to want, what are we doing here? I think he wants to get paid. And if he wants to come home, maybe he comes at a discount price. Who knows? But I don't know what that contract looks like. I'm not a fan of it. Who wins? I'm not sure. Oh, Easy versus Jordan Davis in the Oklahoma drill. Jesus Christ.
I love how Mike always throws Easy.
Look, I love Easy. I really do. Easy would be mauled by Jordan Davis. It wouldn't even be close.
But that doesn't justify him at 2. Just because he mauls Easy.
Yeah, I can't believe I can't believe we're having a morning show. I can't believe there's a sports talk show in our town having a conversation about Jordan Davis at number 2. You know what I want to say.
You got a baseball bat for him?
Baseball bat doesn't do it justice. I might have to step it up a level. Maddie, who do I email for winning today? Could you please put
I
in
love
the...
March Madness at
yeah, could you please type it in the chat for Tammy, please?
Oh, God.
Resign Hawk or trade him. To be honest with you, he is not justified top-tier tight end money, even though he has top-tier tight end talent.
So with that...
His injury concerns, his production have not been tier 1 tight end production. Having said that, you re-sign him. I don't think you trade him. Look, guys, when you got the tight end, it's nice to have. It's really an effective tool in the NFL, in today's NFL at least.
Yes.
Take advantage of Hawkinson, get him on a team-friendly deal, and sign him. It'll be a pain in the you-know-what for years to come. Unless, look, if he's consistently injured, you got to move off of him.
Yes.
But I think if he can prove it this year that he can stay on the field 15, 16, 17 games, I'm liking the chances of him being a part of the Lions' future. That's going to be it for us today. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show today. We are so sorry about yesterday as well.
Yes.
I hope we over-delivered, compensating for the hour that you were unable to watch yesterday. I apologize on behalf of everybody in the entire state of Michigan for the suggestion that Jordan Davis should go number 2 overall. I am so sorry your ears had to hear that this morning. I apologize. I am so sorry that disaster of a suggestion reached radio and social airwaves.
All those airwaves, yeah.
That is so sad. I'm not sure where this country is heading. I hope we recover. On that note, Maddie, have a lovely day. Fish, Alex, have a lovely day. Jeff, as always, you're the man. Thank all of you for joining us this morning. Make sure you leave a like on the YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribed if you aren't. And go check out... Holy crap, almost dropped my coffee. And go check out Big D Energy at 11 o'clock. I caught it, too, by the way. That was on camera.
So proud
Have a great Wednesday. We'll see you guys all tomorrow. Thursday, big interview tomorrow. Surprise guest.
Yes.